Welcome to Season 3 of the Strength in Truth podcast. This series will run in parallel with a monthly blog published on our website throughout 2023, God willing. We'll be covering a broad range of subjects in the blog. The podcast will be an audio version of the blog. So if there are any topics you would like us to cover, feel free to send us an email with a suggestion. You can find the blog and our contact details at strengthintruth.org. The subject for this episode is creation. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. He created everything by the word of his power. He spoke everything into being. God himself has always existed. He has no beginning or end. He is eternal, from everlasting to everlasting. People ask, who created God? The Creator is not created. He has always existed and will always exist, the Ancient of Days. We can't imagine anything that doesn't have a beginning and an ending. But God is outside of time. He created time, and so is not bound by time. He created the laws of nature, and so is not limited by them. He is outside of them. You can't get something from nothing. Something has always had to exist for there to be something now. At a point in eternity, the universe was created by God, including our solar system and planet Earth over 6 24-hour days. God could have created everything instantly, but he chose to do it over 6 days and rested on the 7th day and blessed it, to give us a pattern for our week. The pattern is 6 days' work and 1 day of rest dedicated to worshipping God. The creation was perfect. The world was very different then to now. There was no death, no predators. When Adam and Eve sinned by taking the forbidden fruit, the whole creation changed. Death came into the world, just as God had warned Adam it would. But this wasn't the only major change. Hundreds of years later, Noah emerged from the ark into a radically different post-flood world. The beautiful account of God creating the world in 6 days is ridiculed by most people. Even people who claim to be Christians don't believe it. Instead, they try to squeeze the theory of evolution into the Bible. They come up with various theories attempting to make the Bible compatible with evolution. It is true that species change and adapt over time. But the claim that we all evolved from pond scum over millions of years of gradual change in a fight for survival is not compatible with the Bible. If you think science isn't compatible with Christianity, go and find out what Isaac Newton and Michael Faraday believed. Science done right is the pursuit of truth. God is, by definition, supernatural. He is not bound by the laws of nature. As creator, he is not bound by his creation. He can perform miracles and do with his creation as he pleases. People look at the miracles in the Bible through the lens of the laws of nature and say impossible every time. forgetting that with God nothing is impossible. Whilst we should be able to make logical arguments for our faith cannot rely on them. Doing so is to build on the sand. You may be smart, but there will always be someone smarter. It is also worth remembering that we want to be our own boss. We don't want God telling us what to do or be judged by him. Evolution gives the appearance of freedom. It tells us we are just intelligent monkeys. There is no ultimate right or wrong. Evolution is all about survival, passing your genes on to the next generation. But how can survival be a purpose in itself? What are we surviving for? Surviving to survive? Well, for what? Thus, philosophers conclude man is a useless passion. You only get one life, so live it. It's just eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die, dished up differently. Pleasure, apparently, is the purpose in life, but we know it isn't. We know deep down that life really matters. We need something more. We need the divine. The creature was made for the Creator. In the words of the Westminster Shorter Catechism, man's chief end is to glorify God and to enjoy him forever. The only sure defense against the temptations of believing evolution, the only foundation that will stand the storms of life, the only way that gives life ultimate purpose is to be found trusting in the Rock of Ages, the Lord Jesus Christ. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. Thanks for joining us today. Look out for the next episode on the 1st of March. And don't forget to like, follow or subscribe to the Strength in Truth podcast and share it with your family and friends. That's all for today's episode. So until next time, goodbye.